while since we've had a newsletter. I want to get some information out to you regarding the lat muscle this month. It's a big muscle that inserts up on the top of your neck, comes across the back of your shoulder blade, onto the back of your arm, and then comes all the way down into the top of the hip. Just Google images of the latissimus dorsi, or the lat muscle, and look at how big that muscle is. A lot of individuals I've seen this summer and now into the fall are having some issues with their lat muscle. They're having a knot in that muscle. It's not moving the way it should in the golf swing. Just want to give you a visual. If the left lat is tight on a right-handed golfer, it is going to restrict how much width or extension I can get out of that left arm. You can see how if that's tight, it doesn't want to let me extend that left arm. On the same idea, if the right lat is tight, it's not going to want to let me get the club extending and then working up and around my body. So, something to think about. There's a simple test we can do where you're leaned up against a wall, the small of your back is flat against the wall, and then I want to know, can you take your arms overhead and touch the wall without losing contact in the small of your back? It's easy to arch off the wall and say, oh yeah, I can touch it. Well, you got to keep the small of your back pinned against the wall as you do that, and that gives me some really good insight into what kind of range you have through your lat and then through your shoulder joint. If you have trouble with that, it's definitely going to cause some issues in how you start to get the club working around you. A couple things to consider. You can take a PVC pipe or a broom handle, just have it out in front of you here, extend it, let your arms go straight, kick your hips way back. That starts to lengthen the line between what's happening between here and here. Work on pushing the pipe away from you, kicking your hips back, and dropping your head in underneath your arms. That's a big lat stretch. Second way, have both hands facing away from you. Sit into a gentle squat, feet just outside hip width, hips go way back. The post is going to be about a foot outside your midfoot, not your toes or your heel, your midfoot. And then work on extending that top arm to get your forearms really close together without this shoulder coming way over here. It's got to stay in the middle of your feet as you straighten that top arm out. I'm really feeling a big stretch as my scapula, my shoulder blade, gets wrapped around my rib cage on that. Then I would do the same thing over here. Feet just outside hip width, hips are going way back. This is at my midfoot, about a foot outside my foot. And then I'm going to try to get my shoulder dropping in between my feet, straightening that top arm out without letting my shoulder go over here. Really trying to get those forearms close. And I can feel this shoulder blade starting to wrap around my rib cage. Just using a simple PVC pipe or a broom handle. Great way to start getting some range of motion through your lat and start to get some ability back into some things you might be learning in your lessons or some things you might have remembered from previous days when you played really good golf. You lose range of motion through your shoulder and that lat. Things start to get real silly real quick. So, back, flat against the wall, coming up. It's a simple test I use, but it's a really big indicator as to some things that could be popping up in your swing. Check that out, see if that's an issue for you. It's something I've seen a ton. I'm retesting my athletes this week as they come back from high school golf. I'm seeing that a ton. With as much as we're in this posture, and as much as we're in this posture, everything's going to want to start to wrap forward. We need to go the other way and start to get some extension up through our mid-back and some flexion through our shoulders and get some range of motion out of that lat. Otherwise, we're playing havoc on our golf swing. Hope you've had a great summer. We had all of October for golf. I can't believe it. We're getting a little bit of November. I hope you're taking advantage of it, and I look forward to seeing you soon. If there's any questions you have, if you want a home mobility or flexibility program, those are things I'm offering. If you want to do a physical reassessment or get started for the first time with me, let's connect.